Hello everyone, welcome back to Spirit is Yoga with Gina. I'm Gina, and today's class is going to be all about 5 yoga poses, specifically great for helping to reduce stress. So I recommend grabbing a blanket to have nearby. Feel free to perhaps have a warm beverage as well, or a bottle of water, whatever you would like to have to drink. Get in a nice cozy atmosphere and we'll get started. So the first pose that we're going to do is child's pose. So if you're familiar with yoga, you probably know this pose. If you are not familiar with yoga, this is a wonderful pose and you're probably going to love it. So we're going to come onto all fours here. And then from here, we're going to go into what's called extended child's pose. So we're going to bring our big toes together. Send our knees as wide as the yoga mat. Let the hips come back. And we're just melting the head and chest down onto the ground. So an option here to get more comfortable into this pose is you can bring a blanket to support underneath the belly, or you can place it underneath the forehead, or if this is sore on the knees, you can also take the blanket and just open it a little bit more, roll it slightly, and that's going to go underneath the backs of the legs. Another option, if you have really tight hips, is to bring a block or something that you can kind of just lift the hips up on, even a rolled blanket. You can roll it and just bring it underneath the sit bones here, and you're just, again, resting and lowering down into the pose. So your option to do whichever method you would like here, and allow yourself to begin to get comfortable coming into this child's pose. This pose is also really great for helping relax the back and releasing tension in through the hips. So as you're in this pose, we're going to be here for about 10 full deep breaths. So as you inhale, feel the ribs expand laterally. And as you exhale, exhale fully, emptying out the lungs. here, you can begin to make your way all the way back up onto all fours, and we're just going to take a moment to bring the knees underneath the hip points. So we're going to spread nice and wide here as we press into all 10 digits. And wrist lines under the shoulders. And as we're in this pose here, imagine that you are, you can try this with me actually, palms face forward. And imagine you're rotating the fingers down. So we're going to do that same motion, just our hands aren't going to move on the ground. So as you do that, you should be able to feel the shoulders kind of wrap around the back here. And pressing into the tops of the legs and pressing away from the ground, connecting to the core. We're going to find cat-cows here, so softening through the belly. We're going to inhale to peel the nose, look forward. And then as you exhale, continue to round through the spine and send the center of the back up towards the ceiling. Continue to move here with your breath. This pose is really great for the back muscles and for the spine. Do one more here. From here, I can take a moment to come off of the wrist, just circle them one way and the other. Our next pose that we're going to go into is our forward fold. So you can do this pose either seated or standing, so I'll show you both. If you want to do seated, you can have your blanket nearby. For seated, we send the legs out nice and long, lift the toes up towards the ceiling. Now we're just going to take our blanket and roll it. And that's just going to come to the belly here. We're going to inhale and send our arms up nice and wide up overhead. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold over the blanket and relax the arms onto the legs. And remembering here that your neck is also an extension of the spine, so we're reaching through the top of the head. If you have a block, you could always bring a block to help support the head here. Option also to grasp the big toes. And then option 4, if you're doing standing, we're just going to come to a nice wide legged forward fold today. So it can be about shoulder distance apart with the feet. We're just going to sweep the hands all the way up overhead. Prayer fold. Palms together, exhale down to your forward fold. So allow your body to hang here, lifting the hips up to the ceiling, melting the body towards the tops of the thighs. Forward fold is one of the fastest poses to bring you out of an acute stress response. And wherever you are, whichever forward fold you've chosen here today, I invite you to take a couple nice full deep breaths, exhaling out through your mouth. Letting everything go. Everything melting elbows away from the body. One more full breath here. Continue to go back to your regular breathing. Helps elongating the breath. And wherever you are, to begin to bring the torso back upright. And if you're seated, you can begin to make your way to a standing position. So before we go into our next pose, we're just going to take a moment to circle the hips out one way and then the other. So our next pose is going to be a balancing pose. So this pose is really great for focusing the mind. There's a lot to kind of concentrate on, so it's really great for just being in the present moment. So from here, we're just going to come into our mountain pose. The palms are going to be faced forward, and we're going to begin to activate through the feet. So we're going to press into the ground, all four corners, so under the big toe, the pinky toe, and both sides of the heels. And then we're going to rotate the legs apart like you're ripping the ground apart with the feet. We're lifting up through the sternum. And so then from here, we're going to begin to pour the weight into that left foot. And we're going to be crossing the right leg over top. So you can take a bit of a slight bend to the knees here. And then we're going to do the same thing with the arms. So right arm is going to come over top. And we're squatting towards the ground. So arms are also, so it's going to be right elbow over left elbow. And then if you can touch the back of the hands together or the palms together. So give it a go here. Left knee is kind of rotating towards the corner of your mat. You're rotating to the left. And then we're lifting the elbows. Nice. And then from here you can come out of the pose. Take a moment to just rotate your standing leg. And then we're going to try it on the other side. So again, finding that nice foundation through the feet here first. So still activating through the legs. And then pouring the weight into the right foot. Lifting out of that right hip. And wrapping the leg around. And we're going to cross the left elbow over top this time. So again, it might feel a little different. You might want to do back hands or palms on the side. And then we're sending the hips back. And we lift the elbows forward. Toe can also touch the ground if you prefer. And you can begin to rise up and unravel the legs and arms. Ooh, nicely done. Take a moment to shake out the arms. Rotate the standing leg. And then we're going to come all the way back down to the ground for our last pose. To bring your blanket, and you will need to find a location near a wall with enough space for your back to be on the ground. So we're going to bring the blanket in nice and close to the wall. And make sure there's no lumps in there. From here we're going to sit same so that we're along the wall with our body. And then we're going to begin to sweep the feet up towards the wall and over to get into position for our legs up the wall pose. So blanket is to kind of support the lower back here, and you can always shift the sit bones a little bit closer towards the wall. This is a really great pose to help end the day. Really great for stress relief. Can begin to relax through the arms, the hands, the toes. And just notice your breathing here. I invite you to take 3 more nice full deep breaths. And from here you can begin to send the legs all the way back over to the side and make your way all the way back up to a comfortable seat. I hope you enjoyed this class. Allowing yourself time during a busy day is essential to helping to reduce stress. So take a moment of gratitude here for yourself for creating this time for you. And thanks so much for joining this class. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.